so we are back in Riverview for another renovation. Okay, so how am I going to explain this one? So, in Riverview I already did one house, the makeover of one of the houses there. So the big one over there. I'll pin the episode on the screen. Then I had a discussion a while ago, almost a year ago, I would say like a month ago, with my friend Lily, who is also on YouTube and on Tumblr, and she had started to renovate one of the row houses there. I think it was the one in the middle, and she was a bit stuck with it, and because they are supposed to be row houses, and really they're not quite detached from one another. So she lately left that comment asking if I would be up to give it a try, since we discussed it a bit back at the beginning of the year. I would say I already have an idea of what could be done there, but I'll see if it goes with the description, and maybe it's going to change as I am making it over. We'll see. We'll do a tour first, of course. So let's check it out in Edit Town first. So yeah, that's the one in the middle. So I know a bit about Riverview because that's the world I've edited for my main world. And before being able to open it in Create a World, I actually edited that version like in Edit Town. But I've never really done makeovers before this one. So here we go. Meadow is a plant lover. Gardenia Grove, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. The size 30 by 20, which is not that small. So part of Riverview's flower row, Gardenia Grove epitomizes a modest row house surrounded by a beautiful garden. This house represents perfect living for the single person or perhaps a small family. A modest row house, so I'm going to try and keep that in mind, surrounded by a beautiful garden. Oh, okay, so I think I know what I'm going to do. Again, I already had a previous idea. Let's visit the house first. So here we go. Hello, Meadow. Oh yeah, her parents are in town somewhere too. I do remember that. So it looks as if it goes up to there, but it doesn't. So maybe we can... Yeah, because if I do that house, I'm thinking I'll have to do the 2 houses that are on the side, like that. Okay. So this window can go through this window, and then you can see that house from there. That's pretty cool. Okay, so this one. Oh yeah, I remember talking about the trellis there. And there is a garage. It's not in the description, so that's cool, because I'm going to get rid of it. And there is a garden here, but also harvestable plants here. So the pathway is pretty cool. It's a pretty house, brick building, and very tall windows. Is it there, or is there one more square to go to the edge? Because let's see, there's actually room here to have kind of a side garden, because it's supposed to be surrounded by a garden. But so if what I'm thinking of doing before tackling the inside is there are not that many windows there, so hopefully, yeah, the staircase is there. So what I'm going to do, something I've thought about before, is doing at least one more house, one more building here that is going to be a house for NPCs. This one has a side yard here. That way it's a bit more like surrounded, and it's more modest, because the lot is too big for something that is supposed to be a modest home. It's smack dab in the town center. The thing is, I really like to keep the trellis here, because it's such a good idea. It's very cool looking, but at the same time I'd like to have a house here. So that, because that wall is the best one to be the common wall, I mean, here there is no room for a second house here. So this side here, that's when there's going to be a house. Or, ooh, do I have, okay, I'm going to think about that. But maybe have turned this into a house. And here, instead of having a house, have a parking area for the car. Would that count as a row house? I'm not sure, but it might be better than... Yeah, I'm going to try and do that. I'll see how it looks. Well, okay, let's visit the house itself. So the front porch is very cool. There is a balcony, but it's not accessible. Do we really need a balcony? And we can have like hanging plants. Does the foundation go? No. Okay, yeah. So I'll try to keep the floor plan. So that floor plan here for the house. But then I might rearrange that floor here, and do I keep that here? I don't know. We'll see. But the porch, the front porch with all the plants, that's very cool. And then there is a back porch here. And isn't there? Yeah, there is a path here. So let's have like a back gate leading to that pathway here. Very bucolic looking promenade here. Then this is going to be the back of that house, but I'll have her have a small garden here. Maybe we can have like a sort of greenhouse here with the planters. Oh, the ones from University Life, I think would suit her. So then the front room with lots of windows. Oh, Lily told me that painting would be there at least 7 times. Oh yeah, twice here, and it goes with the plant here. I really like the wallpaper. So there is a fireplace, very nice front room. Then a small dining. Oh my gosh, it's going to be there more than 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 2 in the front room, that's 6. 7 here. So one's in the kitchen in the back. So that classic layout for a row house that I know of. And a small, not that small bathroom here. Cool. With, again, the same painting. I think she likes sunflowers. So upstairs, 8 and 9, 10. Oh gosh. 10, 11. So 11 times the same painting. But she doesn't have another one hanged somewhere. So at least she's consistent. So there are 2 bedrooms. I thought I read 1 bedroom, but no, 2 bedrooms. So yeah, that could be for a family. And that one is very big. And here, the kind of a greenhouse too. Oh, very, very. So she's living the life. I mean, it's a pretty neat row house, which is not a row house, but a pretty neat townhouse. So again, another balcony that is not accessible. So I'm going to have a roof over that bump here and a smaller window, I think. No attic. No, it's a flat roof. So a quick view of the upstairs. Here we go. So 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. And that's the first floor. So the layout is pretty neat. I don't think I changed much here. A bit the furnishing. And the fence in the front, yeah, I'll remove it, I'm thinking, because that way they have a front lawn. Right now I'm thinking 2 houses and with a common area so that they could be considered as row houses, even though they don't really share a wall. I'll see how it goes. Okay, let's start. Okay, so building the second building first. So the idea was to have kind of a... So I went with the row house description and I tried to kind of not totally replicate. It's not a duplicate of Meadow's house, but of its footprint. And the idea was to have kind of a template for the rest of the row of houses there. So I could base them on that one. Because on the second floor of Meadows, there is kind of a sunroom in the front, and for me it was like, for the architecture, it looks a bit strange for a row house, because I don't know why I imagine them with having like that front porch, and they can see other people's front porch from there, and so I had like that overhanging part in the front, that bump in the front on the second floor. Yeah, it was, I was, in my mind, it's more like an add-on made by a previous owner or by Meadow herself, but yeah, like an add-on for the house. And that's why I didn't have it there. So it's not really a duplicate of Meadow's house, more like try to replicate the footprint, the general footprint, even more for the back. And also did 2, fake floors. So there is actually, so I use constraint floor elevation, and there is actually a floor in between the first one and the second one, so that I could use the right windows, and I needed more height there. And then there is one between the second floor and the real second floor and the rooftop. And so for Meadow's sunroom area corner, what I did is that I had it on the floor below, so there are a few steps from her bedroom to that room. So it's actually the archways and windows I've used there. I don't know how it's going to go if it's snowing, for instance, because it's the room itself is actually below, so there is no windows there. It's just, yeah, I don't know. It looked better, because it was a bit weird, that overhang on the front of the house. To me, it looked, I don't know, it was cool, but at the same time I was like, yeah, I don't know, it looks a bit weird for that house. But since there is also one next door, I'm trying to have it as I've said, like an add-on made for the house and maybe for the one next door, and trying to see how to incorporate it with the whole architecture there. So then the back of the house, I made it very similar there. And for the landscaping, so at first I had the duplicate house. At first I had it fenced in, just like Meadows was. But then it looked too separated from the lot next door, and so I removed the fence there, so that, fenced in the porch, so that I could have a public room marker, and that the house itself is for NPCs, so there is a door for NPCs there. So so I removed the fence so that it looked more like a row house in a way, because if there is a fence, then the gap in between the lots is more apparent, and Meadow's corner is fenced in, but not the house next door when I did it a bit later. Then meeting Meadow, so she's a bit like a crazy plant lady, and I went with that, and that gave me a better idea of how to tackle the inside of the house. So she's an adult, and wasn't, because I did her next door neighbor after, and she's younger, the neighbor, and so it was a bit more. How did she get that big of a house? Also, it's supposed to be a modest house, so here it made more sense that she got the whole house, because she has had time to have some savings to get the house for herself, even though it's more modest than the. So I went with a description of a modest home. So it is a bit more, since on the same terrain, on the same lot, there are 2 houses now, and I've put the public room marker for the other part of the lot. So the part that is hers is the house, her backyard, even her front lawn is not hers per se, but yeah, we can pretend it is. And so I really like the base for the different wallpapers in the house, so I went with them. Also I added an access to the rooftop. That's going to come back in the future. I'm going to talk about it a bit more, especially for Meadow's house, but I've then added that to the template house so that it's in all the houses in that row have an access to the rooftop. And since it's a flat rooftop, and yeah, I was saying that I really like the different wallpapers, the texture used there. I mean the patterns used. The thing I was thinking wasn't that great is that they're all different wallpapers with different baseboards or no baseboards, and the moldings at the top extra. So I've actually used the same one, the same basic one, and then I've reused the patterns that were already there in the house, so that it fits more her whole vibe. And so for the interior design, I've tried to use her personality so that it would reflect more who she is. And so she likes plants, so there are plants everywhere. She's also a virtuoso, so there was a guitar laying somewhere in the house, maybe in her bedroom, I don't remember. But I've put it as a decor item. I'm not sure it's accessible, so I've made a small piano because there wasn't room really for the big one. And also the keyboard was a bit, I don't know, that many options, so it's pretty easy to create one. So I made a piano, and on top of it, as decor item, there is the guitar. And because she already has one in her inventory, if I remember well, and she's also a slob. So that one I've translated as she's quite messy, and so there are piles of dirt here and there, and mostly near where she has plants, as if, it kind of overflowed from the pots, and she didn't care for about cleaning that up. And that's more of the image I have of her than the really slob one. Oh, she does have what is needed to have. I mean, she has a laundry room, and there is a clothesline outside, but there is also some laundry laying around in the house, because maybe I've read it as that she doesn't care about that kind of stuff, more than that she's doing it on purpose. Also, she's insane. She has the trait, so I went more with the messy kind of personality. And so the kitchen, I'm actually, by the kitchen there is now a small room that is the laundry, where there is only a washing machine there. And it used to be part of the bathroom downstairs. So that bathroom I've cut in half, and half of it is a half bathroom, and the other half is the in the laundry room. So it made more sense to me. She doesn't need to have 2 full bathrooms. I think in the description it was only one full bathroom. I don't remember. I remember that was only 1 bedroom in the description, but there were actually 2. So I did something different with the second bedroom. We see that afterwards. And the kitchen, I really like the furniture there, so I tried to reuse the same counters to keep it somewhat like a traditional kitchen, not that modern. Also, I've added quite a few things for a pet. I was thinking a small dog. I don't know, I think it would suit her. I don't see her as a cat lady, maybe because she's a bit of a slob, so I don't know. And also, since she likes gardening, I would see like a small dog like digging up things next to her while she's gardening. So I've added a few things here and there for a pet, but it can be whatever pet. I mean, I don't really know her, so that's just what I imagine for her. So then the second floor. So here I've added a few things in her bedroom. The layout is somewhat similar, even though there are actually 2 floors there. So as I said, I've used constraint floor elevation to have like a fake floor. So there is a landing before accessing the second floor, and the sunroom is actually 1 floor below, but a small floor below, like not a full one, half. Not even half, a quarter of a floor below. And so there is still the bathroom. It's smaller, I think, because I needed an access to the rooftop. So I need to place a ladder somewhere. And the second bedroom I've made into more of a storage room. So again, I went with messy personality. Like she doesn't strike me as someone who has a spare bedroom. So also she has no non-nieces or nephew in town. And I don't think she has any siblings. That is, I mean, in the game canon, her parents lived in town, so they can go back to their home. I don't know. I don't know why she had a second bedroom. So again, with her personality, I was like, how would she have her rooftop like furnished? Or crazy plant lady, I went with a rooftop garden that she would convert it as a garden, and fitted the description too, that the house is surrounded by a garden. Even the top of the house is a garden too. So I went with planters and mostly University Life plants, I think, there, and also did a sort of a topiary, topiary. Like I used the panda one because he was cute. I need some cute things. And made, so these are for the supernatural plants, and I made like a corner where was a bit of a workshop here. It's a full room by itself, the rooftop, so it's also an add-on for whole house. It was a lot of fun to try to plan it. I wouldn't have that in top of my house for sure, because I would be afraid of some leaking or stuff like that. But yeah, so I went with that, and then that's about it, I think. I've kept the vegetable plants she used to be, but just one of each, instead of having a full vegetable garden there, just one of each. Oh yeah, I added the bee keeping box. And then some more clutter in the house to again reflect more personality. And then I've also decorated some more the rooftop, not really next door, but the duplicate house, the template house. That's how I'm calling it. So that it looks a bit more lived in for the NPCs who are going to live there. Okay, so quick overview of the lot. First floor, I've put a public room marker, and the apartment next door is for NPCs. You can ring the bell here to greet the neighbors. Here, the front porch with a bird's cage. Here, then access to the main room. It's an open floor plan now. There is a small bathroom over there, access to the kitchen in the back, a small laundry room, and the back porch over there, access to the backyard. The second floor, there is a back room here, the bathroom here, Meadow's bedroom, with an access to the front room here, which is kind of a sunroom. And then back here, access to the ladder that leads to the rooftop, where there is a rooftop garden. So that's it for this house. Well, these two houses here for this lot. So now that I'm done with this one, I'm going to tackle the two next door with the same idea of having two lots so that they look a bit more like row houses. But that would be for future episodes. I'll see you in the next one. À bientôt!